Hi, everybody. It's Nate. My wife Christy's holding the camera. And normally I like to do these outside. But today we are in my room because we are social distancing. It's that season in our lives, all our lives. And now that Easter's behind us, I have really given a lot of thought to the fact that my pastor, Pastor Bill Burnett from New Life Chapel, made a point during his video service yesterday that for the first time in 2,000 years, the body of Christ celebrated Easter, but the churches were empty. And a very close friend of mine from work, he remarked that during their video service, when they panned the camera around the church, it was empty, with the exception of the pastor teaching and the people that were doing the worship. And it brought his wife to tears. And it made me think about how this is such a completely new season for all of us. And one of the things that we should all be thinking about is that no matter how big or how small our church is, how beautiful or how simple it may be, anywhere it is in the world, the church is not the building. It's not the place we go. It is the body. It is the body of believers. And the hands, the feet, the arms, the legs, and the back of Christ are us, not where we go worship. And what we need to be doing in this season is call our brothers and sisters who for all of us, church is so important, and that place that we are together is so important. So we bring that place that we're all together in this season that we're in, this time of our lives where technology makes it so easy to reach out. So call someone that you love. Call someone that you don't know very well that goes to church that may not be expecting a phone call, just to check up on them and say, hey, how are you doing? I love you. And I want to know how you're feeling. Because if we think about it, the early church fathers, they were so urgently trying to get the word out that the church multiplied exponentially, but nobody was writing any of it down. And then later on, when our church fathers like John was exiled to the island of Patmos, and Peter, when he was imprisoned, and Paul, when he was imprisoned in Rome, Paul wrote Ephesians, Colossians, Philippians, Philemon, and 2 Timothy while he was in prison. So instead of being given an opportunity to preach to thousands, he was taken away from that. And instead, he wrote letters that were intended for those churches, but instead became part of the posterity of all of our faith. So instead of reaching thousands by being sheltered in place, he ended up reaching billions throughout the centuries. Now, I'm nobody that's getting ready to write the Epistle of Nate. That's not me. And for a lot of us, I freely admit that right now in this season, it's just a victory to keep the tiny humans alive. But if we're having struggles, maybe it's not to save a bunch of people or even several dozen people. Maybe it's just that one person that you know. Maybe you have a rebellious teenager in your house that doesn't like listening to you, doesn't really want to talk to you, but now that he or she is stuck in a house with you, nothing can keep him or her from hearing. So maybe it's up to us, each one of us individually, to make that phone call, to reach out, to have a sense of humility of whether or not we're right or wrong. Just love them right where they're at anyway. Because maybe the person that Christ chose to make sure to be the one that doesn't leave the one behind might be you.